Hello Year 2. For the past few days, you have been learning about tallies. On the first day, you drew tallies to represent the number of votes for different types of biscuits that people in Year 2 like. In yesterday's lesson, you made a tally to show how many different objects of different materials you have in a room of your house. Today, we're not going to do tallies anymore. We are going to do something called pictograms. 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 I asked a bunch of people what their favorite farm animal is. I gave them 6 choices. Rabbit, cow, horse, duck, pig, and sheep. So they had to choose one of these animals that I've just read out to you. Instead of representing their vote with a tally, today we are going to represent their vote with a counting animal. So every animal is one vote. So for example, if 2 people voted for horse, then we are going to use 2 counting animals. If 1 person, for example, voted for rabbits, then we will use 1 rabbit. So that is a little bit of an introduction. In the next part of the video, I will show you how to do pictograms. So here are all of the votes for the different farm animals that people voted for. So as you can see, it's a mess and it's very difficult to be able to count how many people voted for each farm animal. So we need to group them. So we need to group the pigs and the sheep and the rabbits and the cows and the horses and the ducks to see how many people voted for each animal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I've grouped all of the animals. Now I'll label them: sheep, pigs, ducks, horses, cows, and rabbits. So here are all the pigs that everyone voted for, the ducks, the horses, the rabbits, the cows, and the sheep. I want you to pause the video and think about how you feel about the way that I have grouped them. Do you agree with the way I've grouped them, or do you disagree? So pause the video. Do you agree with the way I've grouped them, or do you disagree? Okay, so we can't really have a conversation about this, but I'm assuming that you disagree with the way I've grouped them because it's difficult to count how many people voted for each animal. We can see that lots of people voted for horses and not very many people voted for ducks, but we don't know how many people voted for horses or how many people voted for rabbits. So we are going to rearrange them to make it easier to count. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've rearranged the farm animals. Now, just to remind you, each farm animal is 1 vote. So we can see now a bit more clearly how many people voted for each farm animal. Now, I want you to have a look really carefully. Do you agree with the way I have laid out the animals, or do you disagree? Do you agree with the way I've laid them out, or do you disagree? Pause the video and have a think. All right, let's look at the ducks. Let's look at the ducks compared to the pigs. It looks like more people voted for ducks. Is that true, or is that false? It's actually false. 4 people voted for ducks. it might look like more people voted for ducks because it sticks out further than the pigs. But if we count them, we can see that 4 people voted for ducks and 6 people voted for pigs. So how can I rearrange the animals so that it'll be really easy to see how many people voted for each animal? Have a think. How could I arrange them to make it really easy to see? We can arrange them by lining all of them up. So we did this in school. I can't remember when, but we did it when we did the chop lesson. So we're going to make sure that all of the animals are lined up. So I might have to squish them together because we've got loads of other animals. This is much better when it's done on grid paper, but we don't have that. So I'm going to go and rearrange them all now. Okay, that took me quite a long time, but now all of the farm animals and the votes are arranged in a way that it makes it really easy to see how many people voted for each animal. So now we are going to write down the number of people who voted for each animal. So how many people voted for pigs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people voted for pigs. 4 people voted for ducks. Horses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 people voted for horses. Now, I don't need to count how many people voted for rabbits because I can see there's 1 more rabbit than horses. So 1 more than 11 is 12. So 12 people voted for rabbits. And how many people voted for cows? 6 people also voted for cows. And how many people voted for sheep? Let's try to use the 12 to help us. So here we know that this is 12 for the rabbits. If we draw a line down here, we can see the rabbits had 2 more votes than the sheep. So there's 2 extra for the rabbits, which means that the sheep had 10 votes. And let's just double check to make sure we didn't make any mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. So this is a pictogram, but like a real life object pictogram of people's favorite farm animals. So pictogram comes from the word picture, where we use pictures to represent different amounts of things. So when we were on the carpet earlier, well, my carpet, we used the actual counting animal toys to represent different numbers of votes. But that's not normally how pictograms are done. That was just an introduction to it. Pictograms are normally done by drawing pictures to represent different votes, different numbers of people, or different objects. So right now we are going to we're going to change the pictogram that we did on the carpet to a proper pictogram on paper. So what I need you to do now is you need to get a piece of paper and you have to draw a grid that looks just like mine. So you're going to draw 5 lines going across because you need 6 sections and they have to be long and skinny. And then you're going to draw a line down here because we're going to put the names of the animals in this section. So pause the video and make a grid that looks just like mine. Welcome back, year 2. So you have made a grid that looks like this. The first thing we need to do is label this section here so we know which animals we are counting. The first one, pardon me, is pig. I'm gonna get a different color pen so you can see. Okay, so this section, you write pig, then duck, horse, rabbit, cow, and sheep. So if you haven't already done it, make sure you label these boxes here with the different animal names. The next thing is going to be to draw pictures inside. Now with pictograms, they just need to be simple pictures. You're not going to draw an elaborate picture of a pig and a duck and a horse, because that will take too long. So I will show you how to do a couple, and then your task is going to be to finish your pictogram. So I've grabbed the numbers from the carpet. So there were 6 pigs, 4 ducks, 11 horses, 12 rabbits, 6 cows, and 10 sheep. I'm going to show you how to do the pig section. Get a different color pen. Now, what we're going to do actually to make sure that everything is lined up, we're going to draw some vertical lines, so up and down lines, to make sure that our work is neat, because like we did with the counting animals, everything has to be lined up perfectly or you make mistakes with counting. So I'm going to draw some lines going vertically. Okay, so you probably saw in that I made a massive mistake and I didn't have enough boxes for the 12. So I've had to rub everything out and I'm going to start again. Thank goodness I was doing it in pencil. So you need to have enough space for 12. I'm going to try that again because I made a massive mistake. I'm gonna actually measure it. It might just be trial and error. And 2, it's going to have to be about 1 really small boxes. So I've done 1 dot for every centimeter. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but as straight as you can get it. It would be much better if we had maths books, but I know that a lot of you don't have square paper at home, which is why we're doing it this very long way. But it is a skill to learn how to measure things and to draw straight lines with a ruler. So I'm going to fast forward this bit of the video because it's really boring just watching me draw lines. So I'll see you in a second. All right, I've drawn my lines, and the reason why I've done that is because we're going to put a picture in every section. So here we go. There were 6 people who voted for pigs. So we're going to draw 6 circles. I'm not going to draw 6 pigs, just 6 circles. 1, and notice how they fit right inside the space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 people voted for pigs. How many people voted for ducks? 4. 4 people voted for ducks. So we are going to draw 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people voted for ducks. Your task now is to complete the rest of your pictogram. I will put the numbers of the people, sorry guys, I can't speak today. I will put the number of people who voted for each animal here so you can see. And remember, you draw the right number of circles to match the number of votes. You can color in the circles if you like. Sometimes it makes it a bit easier to see, make it a little bit neater than mine. I am rushing. So I'll leave these here. Then you're going to pause the video so that you can complete your pictogram.